You've heard this type of preaching in the animation or arts industry. Never stay in your comfort zone. But to be honest, the comfort zone allowed me to stay productive and to be able to make things that I love and enjoy. So I want to talk about the comfort zone. Hey guys, it's Toniko Pantoja, and today I'd like to talk about the comfort zone, especially when it comes to art such as drawing, illustration, animation, and why having a comfort zone is actually a good thing. At art school or animation school or whatever, we were conditioned by our teachers to not stick in the comfort zone. The comfort zone was considered a bad place to be in, a place that hindered our growth in art. So how would I define a comfort zone when it comes to the craft that I do? To me, it's just a place of familiarity. So when I tackle a certain subject, or whether it's a certain procedure that I follow, a certain practice, it's not difficult for me to approach. So my comfort zone is drawing cute cartoon dogs or cute cartoon animals. It's actually very easy for me. It could just be a certain principle that you're familiar with, a certain style. Like maybe you're way better and comfortable drawing in the Disney style as opposed to anime. Now the points in discussion of staying within the comfort zone and why it's considered not a good thing, they're all valid reasons. But there's a clear difference for doing art that's for work, that requires consistency, over doing art to find yourself, to experiment, to grow, and to develop your style even further. But I'm going to talk about why having a comfort zone is actually a good thing to have, and I'm sure many of you will agree with me on this. The first point I want to point out is obvious. No one wants to be uncomfortable all the time. No one wants to feel clueless or have no idea what they're doing all the time. We practice procedures and studies to become more comfortable and to become more familiar with the process. Using a certain method for life drawing or drawing the human figure, for example, is a way of finding a structure that feels comfortable and consistent for you. Like if I was doing life drawing classes and someone showed me how to break the human figure using Glenn Villepeu as an example, or even Loomis, then when I approach the human figure, I feel more comfortable in how I break down the anatomy. So when I have to break down the human figure again, at least I have an idea of how to structure it out. And let's say I'm put in a TV show where I do have to draw human figures, I do have to deal with anatomy. What if I'm put in a production where I have to draw and animate in the anime style? If I'm comfortable with drawing anime, I can get that job done easily. The next one is that it promotes consistency, so this is highly important when it comes to work. Like I said, there's a time where you do art to grow, to further explore yourself, to further define your style. But there's another part where it's just for the sake of getting something done. So let's say you have a job and it's art related. You're going to want to fall back into a procedure or methodology or an approach that is familiar to you and is also pretty much second nature. In other words, it's comfortable. So I want to give you a few examples. I work as a story artist for animation, whether it's feature animation or television animation. I found a comfortable system or a comfortable approach that allows me to draw a face in my storyboard work that's easy to read and easy to get across. Can this fall into same face syndrome? Absolutely, but that's not really the important part of my work. My work is to get the actual emotions across, the overall storytelling, and the overall point across. Again, it's for the sake of the job, not really for the sake of art. However, I try to make this comfort zone or this comfort approach adjustable so I can change the proportions, I can change the style a bit, and I can apply it to any type of character so characters feel distinct from each other, but at the same time I don't have to sacrifice anything that's comfortable and consistent for me. The same thing applies to when I start designing human figures. I have a certain approach for placing down the torso in one shape, then breaking down the limbs into its own shapes, and then using this overall approach but changing variations so I can get more variety across. It might not be the ideal way to design human figures, nor is it applicable to everything regarding the human body, but it gets the job done for a certain purpose. When I animate my characters, I have a pipeline of starting from the shorthand towards tie down towards cleanup, but I always draw my shorthands the same way. Even if the animation styles are different from each other, I draw the shorthand in a certain way because it feels comfortable for me, it's fast and easy, and it's mostly there to serve a purpose of trying to lock down the performance and the emotion, because I know the solid drawing in the final part can get figured out later on. What about people who make webcomics or online strips? They have to draw the character over and over again and produce a lot of skits. So I would honestly find a comfort zone or an approach that feels familiar. And again, comfort zones are only formed the more you keep working on it and the more you refine it. So it does require a bit of repetition and further exploration for it to be refined. So when you want to get something done, it's no problemo. The next one is that it gives us a clear idea of our process. And this is important for many reasons. We understand the strengths and the limitations of the work that we do. We can also gauge how long something might take or what's needed to complete the project. Whether it's drawing, illustration, film, or animation, we have an understanding on how to get from point A to point B in our process. We're also more absolute and confident with our process because we have an understanding of how we go through about it. And having a better understanding of the process is good for things like negotiation, especially when you're breaking down the process to a potential client. You can confidently say how long it'll take, what you'll need, and finding workarounds. So a while back, I did a video on how long an animated project can take you. And I know that I can get a certain number of drawings done within a day. But that's also because I found a comfortable approach or a comfort zone that allows me to produce those amounts of drawings and stay consistent with it. Also, having a full understanding of your process due to knowing your comfort zone allows you to spend more energy on things that are important for you or things that matter, and less energy to things that aren't super important. In other words, a comfort zone can also be another way of working smarter and not harder. And in many cases, I found a comfort zone that allows me to not work super hard for certain tasks, still get the job done efficiently. Maybe it's not the best or profound art, but I still get to enjoy a life outside of my craft. That stuff comes down to experience, which also comes from a full understanding of the process. Next, a comfort zone can help you find a niche or a market, or even a brand. And let me explain. Comfort zones are not always about drawing approaches. It can also be about certain themes, topics, genres. Some people have comfort genres. Some people draw only humans. Some people draw robots. Some people draw cartoon characters, animals, backgrounds. Let's say you're like me, someone who can draw really cute cartoon dogs and have them dance. And that becomes my comfort zone. I'll make it because it's fun for me, it's easy. I don't have to think twice or think super hard making it. And because it's so comfortable and because I'm quite good at it where it's appealing, I attract a certain audience. And that audience is people that enjoy cute dancing dog videos that are animated. And therefore when people go to me, they know me as the guy who draws and animates cute dancing dogs. If I worked with those characters further, that would be a merchandising and franchise by itself. I'm sure when you follow artists on social media, it's not just about their skill level or it's not just about their relationship within the industry or the community. It's also maybe there's something that you like about what they draw, what they tackle, just subject matter in general. So maybe there's a certain subject matter that sounds comfortable or you enjoy drawing. And if you love it, you're probably most likely going to do a good job at it than any other subject matter that you're not as passionate about. And that can be something that can open other opportunities for yourself. So I've talked about many good things about having a comfort zone, and I believe that having a comfort zone is healthy. But staying only in the comfort zone is probably going to stunt your growth, and you're definitely going to develop habits. Ideally, you want to develop multiple sources of comfort zones. And that only comes from building new experiences, gaining new influences and inspirations, experimentation. Now, I don't have much to say about what an artist should be, but I do believe that artists are complicated people. We have many different thoughts and we like to experiment with different things, different subject matter, different drawing styles. Like, there's a reason why I don't only do dancing dog animation clips. Because there are times where I like to be stupid and draw inappropriate things, or there are times where I draw really gritty and serious things. And sure, my comfort zone might be everyone else's comfort zone, and by doing different things, I tend to alienate some of my followers. But I know by tackling uncomfortable parts about my work, whether it's a drawing approach or whether it's subject matter, I know that I'm going to grow and learn from it. And the more I become familiar with the unknown or the uncomfortable, the more I figure out a paradigm that allows me to make that something that I'm familiar with and something that might eventually become a comfort zone for me to express and for me to tackle. So yeah, I think having a comfort zone is important to have because it allows you to stay confident, it allows you to stay comfortable, and it gives you a sense of clarity when you have to perform certain tasks in your art or your craft. To me, they're just tools to get something done. And I always have a different set of priorities when it comes to my art or animation or my projects. If I just want good storytelling, I would focus on the character performance, the composition, making sure the context is clear more so than how amazing the art would look. I don't always want to get out of my comfort zone or do uncomfortable stuff, whether it's subject matter or drawing approaches, because that stuff can burn me out quickly. And I know I have a duty for myself to keep making stuff, just for the sake of my relationship with art. And when you feel a little bit bored and adventurous, then step out of your comfort zone. Easy peasy. Anyways, that's all. Ta-ta. Interested in learning hand-drawn animation or learning how to finish an animated shot from beginning to end? Have a look at the store where you'll find the complete Introduction to 2D Animation video course, tutorials, and other resources. Learn classical animation approaches, drawing, lectures, techniques, and other process videos. Visit the store through the link in the description below.